Hello everyone, this is Sihan from the Research and Development Department in Market Equity, and in this video I'm going to be talking about some of the important pairs and instruments and their price movement predictions for the day, which falls on a Thursday, 16th of September 2021. Let's begin with the British pound versus the US dollar, where in the previous videos we said that the pair is moving in an uptrend in the 4-hour time frame inside the overall sideways movement in the daily time frame, and recently, if we notice in the 4-hour time frame, the pair failed to hold above level 1.3890, which resembles a horizontal resistance level for the pair in the 4-hour time frame. Upon rebounding downwards off of it, the pair showed some signs of weakness in the uptrend in the 4-hour time frame, which was clearer after the rebounding upwards off of around level 1.3790, where it formed a new low, and during that, we were able to see that the buyer's power during that rebounding upwards is not as strong as the previous seller's power, which doesn't support the probability of the continuity of the uptrend in the 4-hour time frame. By breaking downwards to level 1.3790, the pair will be continuing the overall sideways movement in the daily time frame, as well as the current downwards correctional movement in the 4-hour time frame, which might extend to target around level 1.3730, then around level 1.3680 as primary targets in the sideways movement in the daily time frame and in the expected downtrend in the 4-hour time frame, which will be confirmed upon the breaking down to level 1.3790 only. One thing to note is that although the pair has formed an uptrend line in the 4-hour time frame, however, we need to note that the uptrend is currently showing signs of weakness, which, like we said, only by breaking down through level 1.3790 will the pair be continuing with the downwards correctional movement in the 4-hour time frame as well as the sideways movement in the daily time frame. If we notice the RSI indicator in the 4-hour time frame, then we can see that it has formed a negative divergence, which further supports the weaknesses that were shown in the 4-hour time frame, as well as the continuity of the downwards correctional movement. Even though the RSI indicator has been moving between levels 40 and 70, however, it is currently moving around level 50, which further supports the probability of the continuity of the current downwards correctional movement in the 4-hour time frame, as well as the sideways movement in the daily time frame. That was it for the British pound versus the US dollar. Let's move on to the New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar. In the previous videos, we said that the pair is moving in an uptrend in the 4-hour time frame inside the downtrend in the daily time frame, and we said that by breaking downwards to level 0.7075, it will be targeting around level 0.7020 to 0.6950 in order to form a new low around it to build a new and stronger uptrend in the daily time frame. If we notice the 4-hour time frame, then we can see that recently the pair is moving in a sideways movement between levels 0.7160, which is the upper boundary of the sideways movement in the 4-hour time frame, and 0.7075, which is the lower boundary of the sideways movement in the 4-hour time frame, and during which it has formed a descending triangle, which further supports the probability of breaking down through level 0.7075 in order to form a new low around levels 0.7020 or 0.6950 to build a new and stronger uptrend in the daily time frame, which will be confirmed upon the breaking upwards to the upper boundary of the falling wedge. And another thing to note is that since the previous upwards movement was a very strong movement and it broke upwards to the previous peak in the downtrend, then even if the pair breaks down through level 0.7075, we will be waiting for it to form a low around level 0.6950, which also resembles level 61.8 Fibonacci of the previous upwards movement, which started around level 0.68 and ended around level 0.7170. If we notice the RSI indicator in the 4-hour time frame, then we can see that by moving around level 50, it supports the probability of rebounding down off of around the current levels to continue with the sideways movement in the 4-hour time frame. That was it for the New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar. Let's move on to the platinum. In the previous videos, we said that the platinum is moving in a sideways movement in the 4-hour time frame, and we said that by rebounding upwards off of around level 957, it will support the continuity of the sideways movement. Recently, the platinum broke down through level 957 and formed a new low around level 921, where it is currently being traded below level 957, and by holding below it will support the continuity of the current downtrend in the 4-hour time frame, as well as the targeting of around level 921 as a primary target in that downtrend. Another thing to note is that in the 4-hour time frame, the platinum has formed a bearish engulfing pattern, which further supports the continuity of the current downwards movement, as well as the overall downtrend in the 4-hour time frame. If we notice the RSI indicator in the 4-hour time frame, then we can see that By rebounding downwards off of around level 50, it supports the continuity of the downtrend in the 4-hour time frame. That was it for the platinum. Market Equity wishes you successful trading and have a nice day.